Game 3, last game. The winner of this will proceed to the next round, to the top 4 of the losers bracket, and that means there are only two best of 3 battles left in the losers bracket. So let's look at the team. COSINE plays a very, very old but solid team with Bishop Galate, which is surprising, and also Keldeo for Scizor and opposing Bishop. Because look at the team. Lati's weak to Scizor, Lando 2, and Jirachi, if it doesn't have Fire Punch, also cannot touch Scizor so much. And this Lando has to be defensive because he has 2 fighting types and the Latios, all of which have problems with Talonflame. So yeah, we'll see. And XRAY, looking at XRAY's team, he has a Hooper with a Mega Scizor and a Thundurus and also a Manaphy. And there's a Hippowdon, so he has a bunch of threats with the Hippowdon. I'm pretty sure this is the core I was talking about earlier in my balance video. So Mega Scizor, especially a defensive Mega Scizor, Hippowdon and Latios, a pretty good core. And then you have Manaphy, Thundurus, and then a Hooper. So this looks like a team I was presenting a few months ago in my balance. When I was talking about balance, when I was making the video about balance, so playstyles, so like the OU tutoring series, you can watch it. But both lead with Latios, and XRAY asked about HP Fire. So if this is HP Fire Latios, would it be HP Fire Latios? I mean, he has a Galate and a Keldeo, also a Bishop to deal with these steel types. But then again, removing Scizor is very nice. So it's kind of, I mean, I wouldn't expect him to have HP Fire. I mean, why not? Why not? So if XRAY stays in and COSINE goes for the let's say COSINE goes for the HP Fire here and Latios goes for Draco. Okay, kind of expected that. I mean, COSINE probably expected what I said. So COSINE was faster. This has to be Defog Latios, Defog Roost, because he has a pretty defensive core. So when COSINE is faster than XRAY's Latios, I don't think it has HP Fire then. And Jirachi was the safe play. So Scizor comes in, probably goes for the U-turn. I'd be surprised if I see HP Fire variant. An Expert Bell HP Fire variant. So, oh, he goes directly into Thundurus on the U-turn. And COSINE is forced to bring in his Latios here. Or his, no, Landorus is defensive, pretty sure. So he's forced to bring in his Latios here. And if Latios goes for Draco, that means that XRAY could bring in his, no, you wouldn't bring Scarf Hooper on a Draco, because Bishop is a switch into Dark Pulse or Hyperspace Fury. And then if you stay there, it can set up on you and sweep the whole team. So let's see who's going to win actually. I think COSINE is going to win, but we'll see because he has so much offensive pressure. Oh, he brings the Galate on the Thundurus. That's pretty surprising. That's really surprising. Okay, he probably doesn't care about the T-Wave, and and about damage on the Gallade. He just wants this Thunderous removed because it is such a threat to his team. Look at Keldeo, look at Bisharp, look at Lando and Lati. Lati cannot switch in on the HP Ice, so it's a huge threat. So removing this has priority. Now Hippo can take this close combat unless it goes for a Sword Stance, and now COSINE gets a kill. Something's going down. Something is going down. Defensive Scizor cannot tank that. Hippowdon gets KO'd, and removing Hippowdon from the team is pretty good. Pretty good for Bisharp. Because let's say X-Ray goes for Draco at some point in time. COSINE sacks something, goes into Bisharp, sets up, and then he's there with a Sucker Punch Bisharp, Life Orb, Adamant for example, and sweeps his whole team. And X-Ray can do nothing. So yeah, Gallade is a huge threat, but X-Ray is free to go into Thunderous now, and is kind of forced to Thunderbolt. And that's a switch in for COSINE for Lati. So if you want to play risky, if X-Ray wants to play risky here, he can go into Thunderous first, double into Hoopa on COSINE's switch into Latios. Wow. He brings in Latios on the speed tie. So if COSINE wins the speed tie, he got 2 kills. But COSINE should switch into... Whoa, he risks the speed tie, goes for the Ice Punch, gets the kill. I would have switched into Manaphy there. Okay. I mean, this Gallade outsped. This Gallade got a kill on Thunderous. Okay, now he has to go into Lati, forcing the Thunderbolt. Yeah, I wouldn't have done... He says I'm dumb. So I wouldn't have switched into Lati too. I would have switched into Thunderous. So maybe he forgot that Gallade hits 350 speed. I don't know, but he should have brought Thunderous in earlier, because Thunderbolt kills here and Gallade doesn't outspeed. Forcing the Lati in, but he cannot do anything about Lati coming in. But he can go into Scizor on the Lati, so he had a series of safe plays. That's why I don't understand why he went into Latios risking the speed tie. Because it's a 50-50, you don't know what's happening. It's the flip of a coin. So yeah, that's that. Okay, wow, that's an offensive Jirachi. He can go for the U-turn here. Or even go for Harsh Stamp if he has it. But he should go for U-turn. He doesn't need this Jirachi so much. And I think COSINE, yeah, COSINE pretty much wins. I think COSINE wins here. Because he can kill Thunderous with Gallade. He has a Bisharp in the back. And Thunderous cannot attack this because it dies to Sucker Punch. Because look at its HP. He has a Keldeo for the Scizor. And for the Manaphy he has... For the Manaphy he has Latios. So COSINE's winning here, pretty sure. Bringing the old core of Bisharp and Gallade back. So now COSINE has to go into Latios pretty much. Because Manaphy can set up here on the Jirachi Para. Jirachi's locked into Iron Head. It's Choice Scarf variant, very sure. Because the team appreciates the speed. And also the U-turn support to bring in his Specs Keldeo if he has it. I think it's Specs Keldeo because it is so good in the meta. Because it destroys balanced teams so well. So it has to go into Lati here. Weaken it with Draco. And then go into Keldeo, go for Secret Sword. Because X-Ray has no Secret Sword switching at this point. But Scarf Hooper? We'll see. Pretty interesting late game if this is Scarf Hooper. Because, it can be Scarf Hooper because Thunderous breaks balance, also Manaphy too. So he doesn't need a third one. Okay, so the play into Lati. The play is to go into Lati on Cosine's part because this Manaphy can set up. It lives a Draco. But Ice Beam is too threatening. So going Lati here, Psy-Shocking first and then going for Draco is the safe play. And if he has kept that low, he can go into Gallade, just click close combat. And then win, and then knock out the Manaphy, or even then headbutt or Psycho Cut. Alright, he goes into Bisharp, surprisingly. Okay, if this is a Calm Mind Manaphy, Calm Mind Rain Dance, special defensive. But I still think that Latios was the better play, just to Psyshock it. If X-Ray goes for Hooper, he can bring in Jirachi. If it is the sub variant, that might be problematic, but Bisharp can still go for Sucker Punch on it. And now this is a slow Manaphy, so knocking it off would be okay. Okay, goes for knockoff. That is defensive Scizor. Defensive Mega Scizor. Has to Mega here. Can go for Roost. And yeah, just go for Roost. But I still don't see X-Ray winning here. Okay, goes into Lando on the Scizor. So that it Bug Bite. Wow, that's a Lumberry Landorus. Bug Bite did 36 on the crit, that means on a non-crit it does, let's divide that by 1.5. Somewhat like 10%. So I mean non-crit does around 25. Weak Scizor, defensive Scizor with Bug Bite, doesn't have U-turn then. But what if he goes for a few Source Dances? But then still Cosine has a Keldeo to wall it. Okay, Landorus go for Source. Scizor too, but I don't think that Scizor can win against Landorus 1v1. Bullet Punch. Oh, still Bullet Punch would do a lot. Maybe around 50 at this point. It shot Roost, it shot Bug Bite. Roost, Bug Bite, Bullet Punch, offensive? I don't really know the calcs, but that looks like a defensive one to me. And offensive Lumberry Landorus. I assume that's for Talonflame, Spit of Talonflame. Okay, switches in Thunderous on the Earthquake. He had to Earthquake there, otherwise Scizor sets up too much. So now he's free to go for the HP Ice, and he can switch. He can sack Jirachi here. Oh, went for Grass Knot. Okay, but still, that is probably not nasty Pot Landorus, and it wouldn't do much because there's a Bisharp. And now that's Thunderous last that are thunderous last turns on the in the match. And he's free to go for the Thunder Wave or HP Ice. But he doesn't need it, so he reveals the Roost on the Latios. If he has a U-turn core, that means that he probably has Defog, pretty sure. And that means that Scizor can set up on this Latios. But COSINE wouldn't let him go for +6. No way. And the Specs Keldeo still beats Hitmonlee 1. I mean, he has to switch into Keldeo immediately if Scizor comes in at this point. Just to prevent him from sweeping his team. Okay, he goes into Hooper on the Roost. Yeah, he pretty much expected the HP Ice there. But X-Ray ran into Hooper. Hooper lives a Draco too, so that's not a bad play. And now he pretty much gets a kill here. Unless, yeah, this Latios goes down. We see life orb damage, we see life orb recall, so this is a life orb set obviously. And now Keldeo can come in, Secret Sword something with the Specs. I'm pretty sure Specs Skull doesn't kill, because Hooper has around 300 SPDEF and 300 HP, just like a Latios, just like a Latias, I mean. So on a neutral Skull, it should live, and it can KO back with a psychic coverage. Now Landorus comes in. Not Scarf Landorus. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised, because Landorus, if this is Jolly Landorus, it outspeeds Hooper, and he can go for U-turn here. If he goes for U-turn, then Keldeo is a pretty free switch. No. Manaphy still tanks Secret Swords and gets up Rain Dance, rests, goes for Calm Minds. Is Manaphy bulkier then? I know that Spec Secret Sword does around 40 on, or less than 40 on a Suicune or Psycune. That means that it will do a little more on Manaphy, because Suicune has 115 base defense, Manaphy has 100 base defense, so it will do like 42, will come close to a 2-hit KO, but I don't think it might 2-hit KO, so Manaphy has to go for rest all the time. So he switches in his Gallade finally. I don't know why he went Landorus first. Could have kept it. On a Sag, for example, but Scizor sets up on it. That's maybe the reason why he got rid of it. And maybe get one life orb recall. If COSINE is real, nah. I wanna say if COSINE is really goes for Soft Stance here and sweeps his team, but Dark Pulse still does a lot, and Dark Pulse plus Bullet Punch would have killed, pretty sure. Gallade went for Ice Punch because of close combat's defense drops, and now I don't see COSINE winning here. I don't see X-Ray winning here, sorry, because this Gallade, I mean, Thunderous dies to rocks. That means that X-Ray plays with Scizor and Manaphy. One of the two best Pokemon in OU. One of two very good Pokemon in OU. Very centralizing. But the combination of Keldeo and Gallade will kill both. Okay, goes into Scizor. A lot of X-Ray doubles on the Keldeo switch. Doubles into Manaphy on the Keldeo switch. Or even Sex Thunders here. Predicting COSINE to switch out. What would I do? If this is a special set... No. There's no way that Scizor lives is not too cured by close combat. But it cannot win 1v1 because of the defense drops. Okay, goes for Bug Bite. Bug Bite plus Bullet Punch after the drop because of close combat would have killed the Gallade. Pretty sure. And now Keldeo's in. It's free to go for Scald here because Scizor has no move to hit it with. He shot Roost already, that means that he's Roost, Bullet Punch, Bug Bite and Swords Dance. So switches out and sacks his Thundurus. Keldeo went for Hydro Pump there. And now COSINE has to switch out. COSINE has to switch out. That means that Manaphy gets up Calm Minds. And this is a defensive Manaphy. That means the only way COSINE is going to beat... the only way COSINE can beat this Manaphy is with a special attacker. Non-boosted. Non-boosted Manaphy, I mean. Or with some setup of his physical attackers. So Calm Mind Manaphy is often played with pretty much defensive investment. Goes into Gallade immediately. On this call, we don't see a burn here. And Zen Headbutt, I'm expecting Zen Headbutt to do like 40%. Because Manaphy, if you play Manaphy defensively, it has 300 something defense. 383. Doesn't get the burn. Phew, okay, that close combat kills Scizor and Manaphy. Where are all the Scald Gods? Not today. Okay, close combat kills the Manaphy, blank to it KO. And yeah, that was literally coin toss. 49-51. Bullet Punch kills, but now Keldeo wins the game by just clicking Scald twice. And Scizor cannot do nothing. Cannot do anything about it. We saw Bug Bite do 30%. And the Scald, he cannot roost on Keldeo's spec Scald. And that's GG. COSINE goes to the next round. Goes to the top 4 of the losers bracket. Tries to find his way back up after the loss against Telly. So yeah, that was a pretty good game. But yeah, COSINE had the upper hand pretty much the whole game. Because I mean, he was on the offensive. He was on the offensive part. He had the he just had the momentum all the time. Skull doesn't kill here. Goes for Bug Bite, another one, 24. And the next Skull is killing. He can go for Bullet Punch just to show it off. Good games. Crit Bullet Punch does as much as Bug Bite does. Alright, good games. Pretty intense. But alright, with Lati being gone so early, Keldeo had, as you see, Keldeo had pretty good time late game. But still, Keldeo plus Bisharp with Gallade is pretty good against Lati too, because 1, it's a speed tie, 2, if Bisharp is in, Lati cannot come in because of Sucker Punch. So yeah, pretty good games. And let's see if I can commentate other battles too. So see you in the next video.